Peace, power, and prosperity. Peace, power, and prosperity. If you can do me a big favor, if you can like, share, subscribe to my channel, that would be a great thing for you to do for me to kind of help me help us get the word out. And so I was talking with my comrade, Brother Shout. If you know me, you know I'm cool with Devontae Peters. That's my brother. That's my friend. And he was talking about doing some patrols in the community this weekend and this Saturday in Highland Hills in the nighttime. And so just thinking about all that and all that energy that we putting forth in the community made me kind of contemplate or at least think about how do we do our first, I guess what they often call the maneuvers in terms of the EVP Newton Gun Club and how we did it and and how it came to be. And I can tell you 3 months before the murder of Mike Brown, which is in May of 2014, you know, uh, there's been a few folks that was out there had went to Hemp Hill first, and that was an awesome move. And I thought to myself, how could we do this locally? See, here's the thing about me that you gotta understand. I've never been a person that likes to go to another person's city and be a stand-up guy. And I challenge you, if you do this sort of thing in the community and you an organizer, don't always be the organizer that goes to other folks' city and be a stand-up guy. Be the person that does it within your city. So that was my mindset. My mindset is, okay, we made a strong move in Hemp Hill. We need to bring this to Dallas. Then aside from that, we had the murder of Clinton Allen, John Husband, um, folks like that, Tobias Mackey, folks like that had just happened. Clinton Allen, March 10th, 2013. We've been working on that case as far as Dallas communities organized for change, as far as Mothers Against Police Brutality, as far as local police brutality groups in the city had been trying to get justice for Clinton Allen. James Harper was just murdered in 2012 in Dixon Circle. And so all of this happened, and it's kind of set the stage for we need to use our weapons as political tools. Number one, as microphones to reach out to the masses. Also, we need to train with our weapons. We need to be training black people with weapons. This is how all of this came to be. So if you ever wondered like how it all came to be, the the, the it came to be because folks like myself was already working in the community, already seen what happened with Clinton Allen in March 10th, 2013. We was over there knocking on doors off Illinois Street, saw the no bill in that particular case, saw that his mother, Colette Flanagan, didn't get any justice for what happened with Clinton Allen, saw all of that, right? And that really set the case or set the standard for what happened on August 20th, 2014. So before all of this, 3 months prior to that date, August 20th, which was the first day that we collectively got together in those groups that folks see how we did. It was in my thought, how could we do this in Dallas? How could we do this in Dallas? How can we be great in Dallas? We don't need to travel 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 100 miles, 300 miles outside of our city, where we from, where people know us at, where we organize at every day on a daily basis, and they know we with this particular move. We got to be great in our city. And so that's really what really started this conversation around the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. That's really what started it. Now, my particular group, I'm only going to speak on my group. I can't speak for everybody because I don't want to speak for everybody. My group is Gorilla Mainframe. That was my group, okay? That was the group that I was a part of. I co-founded it along with Eric Caffrey. I can't speak for other groups. I'm only going to speak on my group. Gorilla Mainframe, we were taught by a brother by the name of Bandeli Tayumba, who was a Pan Africanist, who was a socialist. Okay, that's what we was taught. So when we came to the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, that's the part of the gun club that we brought to the equation because we were very serious organizers at that particular time in South Dallas and in certain parts of North Dallas. And we did our best at that particular time to link with elders, specifically here in Dallas, of the original Black Panther Party and SNCC. That's was our philosophy. Outside of what we experienced with Bandeli Tayumba, who passed away in 2012, that's whom our elders were, whom we built relationships with over extended period of time. To the degree, now that we worked so hard and diligently, this past month, we were able to get a park in the Highland Hills renamed after the coordinator of the Black Panther Party here in the city of Dallas, Fahim J. Minka. That was the part of what we brought to the table as Gorilla Mainframe. I'm talking about Eric Caffrey, talking about Rakim Balogun, I'm talking about myself, Yafeuh Balogun, I'm talking about Kamal Ozane, talking about Ricky Perry, uh, I'm talking about Afro Betty, always ready. I'm talking about those particular folks that I know participated on that day. I might be missing a name or two, but forgive me. But those folks, Osiris Willis, those folks that participated on that day and said that number one, that we was gonna stand against police brutality issues that happened locally. So our focus at that time really wasn't to had anything to do with Mike Brown per se. We had been organizing that 3 months prior. So Mike Brown's situation just so happened to occur in St. Louis at that particular time. That was not anything that we knew. That's not anything that we planned around. We were thinking about our local folks that we knew. I went to school with John Husband. I went to school with him. I knew him. I was close to his family, the Noel family, Lorenzo Noel, Jeremy Noel. These folks I went to school with. John Husband was their nephew, or is their nephew. You know, he was shot in the back, 21 years old in Oak Cliff, running from the police. He was shot in the back. So that's how this whole gun club part, at least in our equation, how it came to be. And so the date was chose on August the 20th, basically because I like Bobby Johnson, and Bobby Johnson was off that day. He the first person I called. I called Bobby Johnson before I called anybody and said, "We gonna let's make this move this particular day." And then the other folks began to chime in. Some folks had to take our word, all of that, but we did not know at that particular time that we was gonna get more so the media buzz that we did get that particular day because now we see all types of folks around the country, different parts, different pocket of folks that have been influenced in one way or another based upon us creating this whole activism with the weapons and also bringing forward the conversation of black people training themselves openly, publicly, just as other folks do, particularly. So we always did that sort of thing as black people. But before 2014, we didn't do it openly and we didn't do it publicly. We always did it kind of under the radar, but we always did it. We've always had weapons. After the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, or bringing forth the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, folks felt comfortable about being public with it, especially on social media. Now, there's a number of different groups that have sort of kind of copied or mimicked some of the things that Huey P. Newton Gun Club has done. And that's great because that's actually what we wanted to have happen. We wanted to take a local phenomenon, which what it was, because we was focused on our things local, our issues local, and create the energy behind it to go and affect other people in other parts of the country. But we didn't know at that particular time that that was going to be the starting point. But that's always the mission. So, of course, South Dallas, we had the Forest Theater in the back behind the Forest Theater, kind of getting things prepared. A lot of folks met up, and it went the way it did. But it was a good thing. It was a good thing because folks who was not really working together as far as the community goes were working together, at least having some sort of conversation at that particular time in 2014. That's the best part of what happens. And it shows that we can come together even though we have our tribal relationships in a sense, because it's very tribal. Folks over here don't necessarily deal with folks over there, but we had a common thing going on at the time. So my organization, Gorilla Mainframe, and the other groups of folks were able to come together at that particular time for at least 2 years. For at least 2 years, we were able to come together, and that's that's the history of itself in terms of how the Huey P. Newton Gun Club got started, more so than anything else. It was a great collaboration that worked, and we were able at that particular time to use social media to more or less promote this idea of what we was about. Number one, we was about uh, showing black people that they can legally, of course, bear arms. Number two, showing black people, regardless of whatever situation, they got a right to defend themselves. Um, I don't care if your legal situation ain't all that great. You still should defend yourself. That's what we was promoting too. Number three, we was making sure that folks knew how to take care of themselves, and that's the biggest promotion that that we was pushing at that particular time, and we was also standing against police brutality, and that was what we brought to the table in terms of police brutality because of the work that DCOC, Gorilla Mainframe, and the groups that were affiliated with us at that particular time was working around to try to make the whole city of Dallas accountable. So that was our goal. And the gun club really became a tool of our local agenda. Just so happened because we use weapons as political tools. We use our guns as political tools, as microphones, and then that thing sort of took off. And then there was an organization, as you all know, called InFact that came and did it a little bit better. But the basis of it was created in the conversation aspect by the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, because I've seen photos of the brother um, with members of Ohio at the particular time, Ohio chapter Huey P. Newton Gun Club. So peace, power, and prosperity to to you. If you can do me a big favor, like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'm an active person in the community, so I'm not just talking about things in the past. I'm also showing kind of what we're doing, and I'm gonna be going live on this next upcoming few days as we patrol our community in Highland Hills, and because we got a headquarters in Highland Hills, we call the Beasley Malcolm X Academy. You know, the Charles Beasley Center and the Malcolm X Academy. So that's what we'll be doing this Saturday. I will be live with it. Share it, subscribe to me. I'm gonna try to show as much as I can from a local perspective, and try to hopefully build with other groups, other organizations, so we can continue to try to progress our communities. And I personally look at things as on a minute, on a very community level, on a smaller level, just because, just because it affects the people that we know the best. So peace, power, and prosperity. Like, share, and subscribe. It's Yafeuh. It's Yafeuh. It's Yafeuh. That's my name. Yafeuh Balogun. I appreciate you very much. Peace, power, and prosperity.